At Bluebird Care, we understand the challenge of trying to keep your loved ones safe, protected and cared for. That's why we provide high-quality care at home services in Sligo and Mayo, protecting our customers and delivering outstanding care. For more information, contact us on 071 9155 008.
"2020 will go down in history as the year the world changed, with the highly contagious and dangerous coronavirus, which later became known as Covid-19, spreading across continents. Here in Ireland, as people were looking forward to the annual St. Patrick's Day celebrations, the government introduced emergency legislation to try and slow down the spread of the virus, and with no vaccine in sight, ordered the closure of schools, churches, businesses, pubs, hotels, non-essential travel and all sporting events. People were advised to stay at home, with the exception of frontline workers. Our streets in our cities, towns and villages became empty. This was the biggest crisis facing the country since the foundation of the state. Well, Breaffy Village is only a few short kilometres from the town of Castlebar, and it's a very close-knit community. So what was life like for the residents there during the lockdown? Well, this is their story.
Breaffy is a village. It's approximately about 4 or 5 kilometres from Castlebar, and it has a long and proud tradition going back to the famine time and up to the present time. COVID basically the COVID crisis has challenged all of us, and as a community council it has challenged us to define a role, and it has challenged us also to look and see what we could do to contribute to the community and to the betterment of the community. One of the things we found was that food, which was a big issue at the initial stages of COVID, was not a requirement in this area. But what was a requirement and what people did need was company, contact and a sense of security. So to that end, what we did was, or we tried to do, was to try and make contact with as many older people as possible and to try and see were they okay, and to give them comfort in selective ways so that they could get through this crisis. It showed us as well that we have a wonderful community and that we've got new colleagues, new friends, and we've got new talents that we didn't know existed. Typical of most villages in the country, Breaffy would have amenities such as, I say, the school right beside us here, which actually was founded in 1890. It also has a pub, which I see was founded, I think, in 1860. And obviously through COVID, it has had huge effect in that it has been closed and has affected the social fabric of the village as well. And then you've got the businesses, or some small businesses in the area such as Heenahan's, and all the small businesses have been fundamentally affected by COVID. The Breaffy House itself, which basically goes back to the Brown family, which have been here for maybe hundreds of years. And Breaffy House is one of the most prominent hotels in Mayo, if not in the country. We have a church, which is a wonderful place for our residents and the people in the community to worship. And we also have obviously the GAA, which is very prominent in the country because of the players that we've had. And obviously COVID has affected the GAA and both its use of its facilities and the players themselves as well, in that they cannot play the games because of COVID.
Breaffy Club itself, as we know, it started in 1953. They played their first match here in the same field. Today, a different looking field, and the photograph of the team was taken, which is rather unusual, 6th of May 1953, and the photograph is there to be seen. The present club was formed, and it came from its origins came really from men that were working in a local shop where the present post office is Devnice. It's a well-known superstore, you could say at the time, delivering throughout Mayo. It's in the last 10, 14 years that the success of certain players, when 7 from the club were parading in Crow Park in the green and red, and that was a matter of great pride. And of course, the world in itself knows who Aidan and Robbie Henley are at the moment. They're still part and parcel of the Mayo team. Shemmy O'Shea has been on the Mayo team with Robbie and with Aidan for years, and so has Conor. Aidan O'Shea is the recipient of 3 All-Stars in the club, and perhaps others, we would feel that others, Shemmy and Robbie, probably should have been in contention as well, especially. But Aidan has 3 of them, and no doubt he'll still survive and keep going for another year or 2 at least, and perhaps we could have our 4th All-Star back with him. So that is a great achievement for Aidan himself, of course, but also for the club.
With Covid-19, it brings all sorts of challenges and problems for everybody, but for us as a club it's particularly difficult. It's frustrating times as chairman of the club. Ordinarily this time of the year my phone would be ringing from 10 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. You'd have coaches, managers, players ringing, what's happening, making slots available for training. But we're into April now. We'll be preparing heavily for our senior championship. Both our senior teams will be getting ready for senior championship, and it's frustrating for those guys because they're ringing me up and asking me what's happening. The players are particularly our main concern, so we're encouraging them to keep doing their own training from their own backyard and from their own fields. The lads that be farmers and things like that, they're training, they're putting it in and working closely with Peter Ford, the manager, and he's keeping me updated on what's happening with them and how it's going. And again, he's frustrated because we read on the paper one day, it could be August. We read another day, it could be October, September, and we read another day, it mightn't happen at all for 2020. We're hoping that we'll be back playing football at the end of this year, if August, September, whenever it'll be,
We were coming to the end of the league and we were still looking to get out of a relegation battle, looking forward to a Galway game, and then all of a sudden on the Friday night the game was cancelled and all plans changed. We probably didn't think it would take this long, and we were probably thinking that the league would be on in a couple of weeks' time or whatever, but to think that we've already missed the first 2 championship games and we're in lockdown for the last couple of months, it's been crazy. So we've gone from full steam ahead to not seeing each other and not being together, so it's been very strange. This place is usually a hive of activity, whether people walking around the track or out on the pitch kicking, so not to be here or not to be in McHale Park training is a bit surreal at the moment. And I'm looking forward to when the GA open the pitches again, because it's obviously where we all enjoy being, and so especially in the summer months. So it's quite difficult at the moment. Look, hopefully once things get back to normal we can get back training here. I know the guys are itching to get back at it and give it a shot.
Everybody around Breaffy is mad about GAA, and it was something I kind of fell into at around age 15 or 16. So I'd say my journey is it's not as long as everyone else's in the Breaffy community, but again, you're welcomed with open arms and everybody is absolutely delighted with football and loves football around here. This has changed in an aspect which kind of turned into an individual sport. You're fighting against yourself. It's a different type of mental battle. Like we have our running sessions, our gym sessions, whereas in the past we would be all kind of group sessions. Now you're kind of it's developing that mental edge where you have to actually do it yourself. You're kind of battling on your own. I work from home the full time now, so it's kind of a positive aspect because the company I work for now has gone fully remote. So meaning I don't have to actually live in Dublin anymore, which means I can be in the community here. I don't have to travel up and down, trekking up and down for training and whatever else. There's also the side, that's positive aspect of it. You have that extra bit of pound in your pocket living in Breaffy instead of living in Dublin. Obviously we miss the social side a bit, but I think I'll put up for the extra few pound. We're in limbo at the minute. We're not quite sure is when the championship is going to kick off, but it's something we have to stay focused. We can't just say let's scrap this year. We have to be prepared for it to start in a month, start in 2 months. So we're pushing for end of July, end of August, and obviously our aim is always going to be to win the county title for the community. So we have to keep striving for that and keep working as hard as we are working.
Usually around this time in June we preparing for championship, and the weather is not great today, but usually the weather's fine and we'd be out here nearly every day practicing with my friends. But unfortunately it's a bit different this year, so we're just exercising and working out at home and keeping in touch, and then hopefully in a few weeks we'll be able to come back out here. Normally whenever there's a Breaffy match, the community comes out and supports us, even from playing under-8 matches. If it was county semi-final, stand over there would be pretty big, and then people coming over after the match. And then I know the senior team were meant to play Mitchell's here in the summer in the championship, so there would have been a huge crowd of that match, between the rivalry between Castlebar and Breaffy, so hopefully that gets to go ahead and everyone's socially distanced. Young people are a bit nervous because we don't know what to do, what's going to happen when we go to college, whether it'll just be we'll all be in our rooms studying at home, or whether we'll actually be down in college. So it's just uncertainty. People just miss their socialising and doing what people 18, 19-year-olds usually would do, but it's just can't complain. No one planned for this, it's no one's fault, so just have to get on with it.
We have had to come up with new ideas over this COVID-19, so we have a fantastic coaching officer who has come up with the idea of an initiation of having drills for the girls every week that goes out on a video, and it keeps them socially active by being apart. It's all about a lot of fun activities that we are missing out on right now because of COVID-19, but hopefully we'll get, maybe October, November, we'll treat them in some way that we can by then. Our under 12s and our under 14s and 16s and our whole club have had huge success over the years. Most recently our under 12s have won 3 county titles in a row, and our under 16s and under 14s have got to county finals, may not have got across the line, but we enjoyed the road to get there, and we are really looking forward to getting back to football again and maybe hopefully having some success in the future.
The grounds that I'm looking at and behind me in the stand would be packed. We could have had up to 1,500 people here for the first round of our senior championship game, and the place would be buzzing, the clubhouse would be buzzing, there'd be teas and coffee. It's all of a sudden the rug was pulled and it's dead. So finally, I'll have to say we'll keep going, we'll maintain everything that we have, and hopefully if we don't lift the Moncler Cup or get an opportunity to lift it in 2020, we definitely will be lifting it in McHale Park in 2021.
At Bluebird Care, we understand the challenge of trying to keep your loved ones safe, protected and cared for. That's why we provide high-quality care at home services in Sligo and Mayo, protecting our customers and delivering outstanding care. For more information, contact us on 071 9155 008.
Breaffy National School was set up here in 1890 and started as a small school, and it has grown steadily over the years, and in the last 20 years we've gone from about 200 pupils to in excess of 400 pupils at the moment. So it's very strange being here for this documentary. We're in the school, it's empty, it would be a normal school day. We would have 16 classes, 8 resource teachers, a hive of industry and activity and teaching and learning, and everybody doing their best. But today it's just the camera crew and myself and another teacher here. It's really, really strange and eerie. Beautiful sunny day in May. We'll be planning school tours at the moment and school reports and all that kind of thing, and it's just an entirely different approach for us at the moment.
School is very different. I'm standing here in my classroom now, and it's my first time back in the classroom since March the 12th, and when I left here on March the 12th I didn't realise that I wouldn't be setting foot back again until now, and it's really eerie and quiet, and it's strange to be back here. Normally the classroom would be a hive of activity, and at this time of the year in particular we'll be getting ready for lots of exciting things to do. Normally the school tours will be on at this stage, sports days will be underway, getting organised for all the different events we're doing that. We were setting our sights on a very long and successful season, but unfortunately that didn't work out. It's as a teacher it's very strange being at home most of the time now, teaching from a distance. It's not the same because it's that personal relationship that you have with children that really makes teaching, and it's that bond that you have with the child and that first-hand communication you have with the child and the interaction you have with the child and the support and encouragement that you give the child that makes the difference. But sadly you cannot do that at a distance, but we're doing our best, and using the Aladdin platform is working quite well, but as I say, it doesn't replicate what normally happens here in the classroom. And speaking of the 6 classes, it's that group that I feel most sorry for, because the last term in primary school is really their term. It's really, they look forward to it for so many years because they take charge of so many events. They organise a jumble sale which raises in excess of €4,000 every year for charity. They organise a talent show. They look after so many things, and of course then at the very end they have a graduation mass, and there's such excitement every year for the graduation mass because they compile a video with clips of them of various stages through their schooling, from being a baby into preschool and all different events that happen, first communion, confirmation, all the different things. And we have a mass and we show this video at the mass, and it is one of the highlights of the year. And for 6th class, I feel really sorry for them because they are missing out on that. But please God, I know, having been speaking to the 6th class teachers, they're hoping maybe at the end of the summer, with everything is back to some sort of normal, that we might be able to organise some sort of graduation ceremony for them, because they really, really, really love it and they miss it.
We don't know what we're going to face, what kind of guidance we're going to get in September, but again, we'll be guided by public health guidance, and we'll make a judgment on that, and do our best for the pupils, staff and families involved, because public health is a huge issue and it's something we have to and will take seriously.
School, it was nice that Andy McTighe was our principal there. It's a community centre now. That's the old school, and they built over on the other side of the new school. When we came from school, we really had to go out and help in the fields and that, and build cocks of hay and all that kind of thing. And they used to have all their own milk and that. And my mother and father used to be out doing it the hard way. They had no tractors that time. There was sports in Breaffy that time, horse jumping and all that kind of thing. And lots of football games and that. Sean used to play the accordion. And there was some other body, I can't remember who was playing the drums, a tear battle with 2 sticks. That was held above in Belcara, and they used to be dancing on the road. And I started above in Barney Hall. They were looking for a few, and I went up and a few of them, so I had to join the said thing. There was a few dropping out. Oh, we were out every other night, some night, nearly 4 nights a week sometimes. My son had organised the birthday in Breaffy House when he was home last from Norway, and all the Norwegians were coming over for it. Because of Covid-19, they had to stop and cancel the whole lot because they couldn't travel or anything like that. Nobody was coming in or anything. I said I was used to being on my own. But we kept our distance, and I stayed out of town since the beginning of March. I haven't stood in a shop since. Well, there's no point in spoiling it. If everyone was going to do that, we'd be back to square one with it. They do come outside there and stand at the corner. I said in the door, I cannot let you in. I was always busy because I brought them all here for dinner every single Sunday. Not unless they were going away on a holiday or anything. And I have done it up till this COVID-19. And I had to stop then because none of them would come in or anything. And we used to have the bonfires every 24th. We even had them up till this year now. The priest said, would you not have the bonfire? And he'd said the Mass. And he came down and said the Mass at the bonfire. And because of COVID-19, I don't think we'll have any Mass on the 23rd. I think we used to celebrate the bonfire night.
I've had a post office here in Breaffy for the past 19 years, and I'm the postmistress in Breaffy Post Office, and I took over from Tom and Mary Fahy. And I must say it's been a pleasure serving the people of Breaffy. They've all been excellent at supporting our post office. When the pandemic hit, the coronavirus, we were seen as an essential service, so we remained open. We actually found that the post office was busier. We got a lot of customers coming, posting to relatives, friends, nieces, nephews, grandchildren. It was a way for them to keep in touch and to keep communications open with their family in times when they weren't able to travel and visit their families. And even the school here in Breaffy, they used the post office to send out school books to the school children. The school children were in school one day and closed the next. The school used the post office to post out any remaining books and belongings that the children had left in school. An Post also had an initiative to keep people connected during the pandemic. It was a little card. It was a free postcard where people could write a little message to loved ones, friends and relations, just to let them know that they were thinking of them in these strange times.
We've had the shop for the last 32 years and the post office for the last 19. And we have a thriving little business now, and we have a very busy post office. When Covid-19 hit, our pensioners had to stay at home, and so we decided to keep in touch with them and to offer a weekly delivery service to them. And they were absolutely delighted that we were able to keep in touch with them, because they could no longer come out and which they love to do, come here on a Friday and pick up their pension and do their little bit of shopping. So we decided to keep in touch with them, and we done that. So every week now we load up and we do our deliveries, because down through the years they have always supported us, down through the 19 years that we have the post office.
The post office here is a great addition that it's open here beside us, and it's very convenient. And during the lockdown, Kevin, the postmaster, used to deliver my pension to me and all that kind of thing. So that was a great service, not having to travel. On pension day, it was nice. You'd meet all the old people here, you know, and you'd have a chat with them. And you miss that kind of, it was a community effort, you know, and that's the one thing you would miss about it. But still, we're getting the service, which is a great thing.
As long as it's needed, we will provide the service to our pensioners. And we're looking forward to the day when they will come back to us, which they will. And we can have the crack and the conversations, and really and truly the post office and the little shop is a hub in any rural community.
I think one thing that COVID did teach all of us is our sense of mortality and our sense of humility, and it made us appreciate our family, our friends, our workmates, but particularly our community and the community we live in, which is fundamental for our well-being and should be treasured going forward. It also forced us to look at the amenities we had and have, and to look at them in a different light. And in that context, the walks we did, we found new treasures, and these are treasures that we want to expand in the coming months and years ahead.
Now, just to remind you that next week we'll be bringing you part 2 of our Breaffy Village COVID-19 lockdown, and there will be a repeat of this programme on Saturday night next at 8 o'clock. Now, don't forget, after the break we're heading over to Manchester to join Martin Logan, who's out and about once again with the Irish community right across the UK. And I look forward to your company at the same time next week. So until then, slán go fóill.